questa stanza non ha più pareti, ma alberi.
Hello, buongiorno, buona domenica, happy Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Kali Flavel. About 10 years ago, I moved to Italy and was passionate about learning Italian. Now I feel quite comfortable in the language, although I don't believe you're ever truly fluent if you're not mother tongue. I am able to have relationships, work, move around. I've made TV shows all throughout Italy. I've lived in Rome, in Florence, on the Amalfi Coast, in Positano, and today I want to share with you what I believe are some of the most useful phrases, some of the phrases that you'll hear either spoken at you in Italian, or you might be having a conversation with a waiter, a taxi driver, your Airbnb host, and trying to establish a rapport or find some really good food or some kind of local secrets, right? And language is the absolute best way to find that authentic experience. I mean, that word's kind of overused these days, but it's true. You can have the tourist experience of Italy easily in any city, or you can find those experiences that are really special and really understand the culture, which I believe is not only respectful when you're a foreigner in a country, but it also means that you then go back with these beautiful memories that are about human connection. So let's get started. This is really for those of you who are saying, right, I've been to Italy many times, I keep telling myself I want to get better at the language, but invariably life gets in the way, you don't have time. And so I'm just going to give you a couple of phrases that will help you either as a single traveler or as a couple to open up the friendship, to get people's guard down, to show someone, hey, I respect your culture and I would really love to understand how you live. This is my intention. I hope you will find it useful. And stay for the end, because I'm going to share with you one tip which I have used, which you won't find in any beginner phrase books, but is very, very easy and can help you in any situation. The first thing people are going to ask you is, where are you from? In the singular, di dove sei? In the plural, as in speaking to a couple, di dove siete? Okay? But as in English, this can often be asked in a slightly different way. Da dove vieni? Da dove vieni? Where are you from? Singular. Da dove venite? Where are you guys from? Plural. Of course, you could use the verb venire, to come from, but let's not complicate things. The key when you're a beginner in a language is to just stick to one or two verbs that you know and know them well and memorize them well. So let's just stick to essere, which is to be. Sono, I am, Australiana. Australian, female, Australiano, Australian male. Sono americana, sono americano. Some countries it's very easy because the gender doesn't change. Sono canadese, I'm Canadian. Sono francese, I'm French. Sono giapponese, I'm Japanese. You may want to answer as a couple in the plural, which is siamo, we are, siamo. Siamo inglesi, siamo americani. You take off the O or the A at the end and put an E for the plural. It defaults to the masculine. If you are a same-sex couple, it will be E for two men or for two women. Americane, E at the end, siamo americane, siamo australiane. If you would like to tell someone the city you live in, you can say sono di, put your city, sono di New York, sono di Londra, London, sono di Parigi, Paris. And if you would like to say it in the plural, we're from, siamo di Lima. The next question I find particularly useful is, once you're speaking with a local, what do you want? You want to get that secret advice. You want to get their local recommendation of where to sleep, where to go for a walk, what to see, what to eat. So I find a very useful phrase is, can you recommend me or us a restaurant, a hotel, a gelateria. This phrase is a little bit hard because you have the GLI, which is for Anglo-Saxons is a bit difficult to pronounce, but you can do it. I believe in you. In the singular, this sounds like mi può consigliare, or in the plural, ci può consigliare un buon ristorante, a good restaurant, or trattoria for the local Italian style rustic restaurant, which is, I think, where the best food is. So in total this sounds like: ci può consigliare un buon ristorante? Can you recommend us a good restaurant? If you want to say in this area, around here, that is in zona, in this area. So the full phrase is: ci può consigliare un buon ristorante in zona? Ci può consigliare un buon ristorante in zona? Ci può consigliare un buon ristorante in zona? If you say it slowly: ci può consigliare. Consigliare is a bit hard because it's got the G-L-I. Liare. Ci può. Ci. Us. Può. You can. Consigliare. Consigliare. Recommend. Un buon. A good. Ristorante. Restaurant. Another variation. Ci può consigliare un albergo in Toscana? Ci può consigliare un albergo in Toscana? Can you recommend a hotel in Tuscany? In Toscana, in Tuscany. A little thing about cities. If you're speaking about a city, you want a. A Roma, in Rome. A Firenze, in Florence. If you're speaking about a country, it's in. In Italia, in Italy. In Australia, in Australia. In my experience, and I've studied Japanese living in Japan and Spanish living in Spain, you really want to go beyond just being a robot, right? A linguistic robot. Have a bit of a laugh with a local, and establish trust, right? Say, like, pay them a compliment. So I find the best way to say this is, I trust you. Once someone's given you some advice, or if they're trying to tell you where to go, directions, then a nice thing to say is, I trust you. If they say, you could go to this restaurant, they have this cacio e pepe, which is amazing, and you could say, okay, I trust you. We had this plan to go down to the Amalfi Coast, but we weren't sure, like, what do you think? Do you think we should go to Ponza instead? So to say this, you say, mi fido, I trust, and then you need to say, who do you trust? Mi fido di lei. I always use the formal with Italians, because if you're strangers, it's just more polite. You can then move to being casual, but I find in a first conversation like this, it's really respectful to use the lei, the formal. So again, this sounds like if you say, I trust you, signora, signore, I trust you, mi fido di lei, mi fido di lei. Okay, the great thing about lei, wonderful thing, it's so fun when there's actually something that's simple in a language, isn't it? Lei is masculine and feminine, so it's easy. And instead of trying to remember, signora, signore, which is, madam or sir, it's just easier to remember lei with a capital L, which applies to anyone to whom you wish to show respect in Italian. If you want to say we in the plural, it goes from mi fido to ci fidiamo. Now, look, I find if this is too much to handle, just forget your husband, your girlfriend, whatever. Just look and pretend you're having that one-on-one conversation, because you think, at this point, I can't speak on behalf of all of us. I can only remember to speak on behalf of myself. So let's just stick to mi fido di lei. But if you're ambitious, ci fidiamo di lei. This is also a good phrase to have with a taxi driver. If you're saying, is this, we're really late for the station. Is this the best route? Or, can we go any faster? I think that you're going to get a taxi driver on side if you say, I trust your route. I trust where you're going. There's something that happens, I think, psychologically. When you give someone your trust, it's almost like most people, I find, almost want to deliver on the trust that you have in them. It's like, even if they weren't thinking of being generous and kind to you that day, even if a taxi driver was thinking of ripping you off, he's like, well, cute little tourists, like they trust me. I really want to make a good impression then and live up to their expectations of me. That's just how I think anyway. Tell me in the comments what you think. The next phrase is something which I find no matter where you go in the world, whether you're a tourist or an expat, basically, if you're a foreigner, everybody asks you, how long are you here for? What's the duration of your vacation? And then they can say, well, if you're here for 2 days, you should do this, you should do that. Or this can get complicated because you've got to use numbers, but obviously you can use your fingers and say, we're here for 7 days or 2 weeks. This is quite easy. I'm not going to put in the future tense like we will be or we have been So, you know, this is too complicated. Come on, like if you're a beginner, let's just stick to the present tense. I mean, technically, yes, you can go more specific, but I find that if you're constantly worried about doing a direct translation from what you would say in English, then you'll never express yourself ever, because it's impossible. You've got to start as simple as you can, and that's a way to build up your confidence and feel like you can engage with someone and look them in the eye, as opposed to just freaking out about how to say things grammatically with lots of specifics. So this structure will be: I am in insert city for insert time. Sono a Milano, Roma, Firenze, Venezia per, for 2 giorni, 2 days, una settimana, a week, 2 settimane, 2 weeks. I find that rarely does a tourist come to Italy and just go to one place, usually because it's so easy to travel, because all of these wonderful cities are in close proximity. A lot of people are doing un giro d'Italia, no? A whole trip throughout Italy, in which case you might want the word and then, which is poi, poi. It's very easy to pronounce. You don't have to roll any R's. So you might say, siamo a Roma per 2 giorni. Siamo a Roma per 2 giorni. We're in Rome for 2 days. E poi siamo a Milano per 1 giorno. Okay, this one's one of my favorites. Although this will probably never be in a beginner Italian phrase book, I find it is very simple to say, and you can use it in a variety of situations. This is the word magari. Magari, magari, is very simple, and you can just exclaim it just like that. Even a fluent Italian speaker will just use it exactly like that in the following situations. So magari in most cases means I wish or if only. So for example, if someone says to you, do you speak Italian? Parlate italiano? Parli italiano? Then you can say, magari. You can throw your hands up like this if you want as well. It's like, I wish I spoke Italian. You don't even need to repeat the whole thing back to them, like, I wish I spoke Italian. It's completely understood. Italians often throw this around and say, magari. You know, do you live here? Do you live? Ma abiti in Italia? Abiti a Roma? Do you live in Rome? You can say, magari, I wish I lived in Rome. It's also another nice way to have a little bit of a laugh with maybe your hotel owner, your Airbnb host, and they can say, you stay another night, or you stay all week, or you stay all summer, and you can say, magari, I wish, you know, on the last day when you feel so sad, you're packing up and it's just so depressing to go back to your hometown, get on that plane. That's when you can say to them, magari. And it's a nice way to express your love for Italy, for their service, for their meal. And also, it's not a phrase that I've ever heard beginners using. I mean, it's not super complicated, but equally, it's not something you hear tourists throwing around. So it's a nice little word to have in your back pocket, just to use and make an Italian laugh, which, let's face it, is always a nice experience. I hope you found some of these phrases useful. If you would like me to continue, this could be an ongoing series, so let me know in the comments below. If you're studying Italian in a serious way and you're a bit more advanced, apologies, you might find I've done a video on the top mistakes that foreigners make in Italian, which you might find useful, but also in the future, tell me what kinds of things you're interested in. I mean, I can go into relationships, how to be texting and keeping a long-distance relationship alive in Italian if you've fallen in love on holiday, jobs, looking for apartments, or ordering in a restaurant, I find is also particularly good because, again, it's like the waiter will come to you, and if you're trying to speak to them in Italian, I find that you'll get a little bit of extra special service. So you won't be served like that 3-day-old fish. You'll be sort of told about the special of the day that the people in the area are ordering and eating. It's very hot here in Italy, so I'm going to finish now, but please give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to click the little notification bell, because that tells you when I've put a new video up, and it's just sends you a little email, I think. And if you would like to support me on Patreon, I'll put the link at the end of the video. Your help is truly appreciated so that I can continue to bring you more inspiration from Italy and around the world.